Errol Spence, struggling with weight again? So Errol Spence is a unified welterweight champion, 28-0, and I'm gonna just jump right to it. So there has been some pictures surfacing around the boxing community speaking about how Errol Spence is running in 100-degree weather in Texas, wearing a hoodie, running outside and working out. So now basically people are making concerns about, or having concern about Errol Spence, saying like, oh, he might be struggling with weight again and all types of stuff. And first of all, the fight isn't even official yet, or any fight that he's having in the future. It's not official yet. It's not an official bout. They might have the bout set for October, potentially, according to boxingnews.com. That is a potential date. But at the same time, there was no official fight. That's the next fight to happen, but there is it's not official yet. You don't see on BoxRec it saying, oh, this fight is there on the golden mark. No, this fight isn't even official yet. So I feel as though people are over exaggerating about Errol Spence's weight. Now, I will say, Errol Spence's weight has been an ongoing joke for the past couple of years in the boxing community on many occasions. Like, there are pictures out there of Errol Spence during maybe interviews, taking pictures where he is very out of weight and he blows up every single time before a fight. Like, you would see like a picture of him where he looks like blown up like a completely different person. Then in fight time, he's just in great shape, always making weight and stuff. Notably, fighters who did that were Timothy Bradley, Ricky Hatton, boxers like that. I mean, I was hearing from Errol Spence that he was making an effort to staying in good shape, staying in better shape consistently throughout his fights, every single time he has a next match, which is great. He has stated before that he enjoys and he's indulged in his revenue that he's earned from the fights, meaning like celebrating, eating and stuff like that, which is fine, which is completely fine. Typically, and even so, even if it's 100-degree weather and Errol Spence looks a little bloated in those pictures, still, many fighters don't look that well when they just get back into the gym. Now, he's not like the most consistent workout artist. Like, Yordenis Ugas is like an example of a fighter who is very consistent when it comes to staying in shape. Every time he goes into gym, he's always in shape, consistently, all the time, which is great for him. But there are fighters who don't need to do that and who do need to do that. Usually what ends up happening, if a boxer is out of shape every time he comes out of camp and comes back inside, it could ruin his body. It could make it more sensitive to punch. It could do a lot. It could make you overtrain. It could leave your body overtrained, and therefore you're literally washed up before the fight. You're not washed up as a boxer in general, but you were washed up before the fight. So even if you win or lose, you might not perform that well. One of the things many fans were worried about when it came to Errol Spence during the past, maybe 2019, 2018, were the facts of how Errol Spence would post himself, Instagram pictures or with other people and fans where he'd be out of shape. He'd be out of shape while other boxers who are in his division as well, like Terrence Crawford, while they're in shape and he's not. Like, there was one video that I seen where they were talking about how Errol Spence was out of shape in these recent pictures and Terrence Crawford was not, and he was in perfect shape or very good shape for being out of the ring. Consistency is very good when it comes to conditioning yourself for a boxing match, but it's what the boxer chooses. And from my perspective, Errol Spence should definitely not be a person who blows up and goes back down, because he's the same person who blamed his performances against both Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia on blowing up. Errol Spence basically blamed the weight. He blamed himself blowing up for the reason on why his performances against Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia were not the best. The Mikey Garcia performance was a good performance. It was a dominant performance. 120, 108, 120, 108, 120, 108. Like, that potentially ended Mikey Garcia's career. Actually, it did. I can't say that, but Mikey Garcia is retired now. He is. I'm going to make a video on that too. But Mikey Garcia is retired, and I think that has something to do with it. That's my assumption, that's my opinion. Now, for the Sean Porter performance, that performance was going to be competitive in general. He was saying reasons for why he didn't perform so well, like, oh, I fought with Sean Porter. If I boxed him, it would have been a lot easier of a fight, but I proved that I can outfight him. On the contrary, people are like, he made you get into a fight. You couldn't outbox him. I disagree. I think he did outfight him in that fight. I think he did. I think he outfought Sean Porter at his own game in elite fashion. And that fight was not a split decision, was not. But he blamed both of those fights on his weight because he was working out to lose weight instead of actually training for power and all and for like conditioning yourself, which is okay. It's a valid reason because many people say that he should have stopped Mikey Garcia. He should have stopped him, right? I don't think he should have stopped him. I think Mikey Garcia had yet to be knocked out, and he just has a very durable chin as a fighter. To continue with Errol Spence, the things that I would say impacted him more than just simply his weight were who he was around. It wasn't just simply because he was coming in out of weight and stuff, you know, drinking and stuff like that. He was drinking. He was drinking with, you know, with people like Adrian Broner, the Tarlos, and that could impact you as well. It also can. I mean, drinking can impact your weight too, but it's about who you're around and like the people who you're around, like Gervonta Davis, Adrian Broner. Even during an interview, he said he didn't like Adrian Broner. He still hangs around those types of, he still used to hang around more or less of those types of people still. I wouldn't say that impacted much because he has a mission, and that's to be champion. He didn't lose himself. He just had some fun times, but he's still an elite boxer who's on his game. So that isn't the biggest concern of mine aside from the weight, but that used to be one of my bigger concerns at one point. Matter of fact, there was a picture that I found looking at Blue Blood Sports' Instagram before, and it was of Errol Spence and him in Blue Blood Sports. I think this was like 2 to 3 years ago. Errol Spence looked big as hell in that picture. This is around the time when he was, I believe, like drunk during a press conference. He was straight drunk during a whole press conference. He was drunk during a press conference, and this is around the time when he was still, you know, flip-flopping when it came to weight and stuff, going up and down like crazy. So basically before the car crash, because after the car crash, during like a Showtime epilogue, Errol Spence was talking about like he's gonna stay in shape consistently now after the car crash because life is short, and it really motivated him to stick to his game. Really motivated him to stick to his game as a boxer, which is good. Now the car crash is not good at all. Terrible. But it's good that he has become more consistent now. Now, it's about if he will fall into those old habits again. I hope not. His career would be in jeopardy. He already had retina eye surgery. So along with that, and along with being inconsistent and overtraining yourself, you could lose many fights. As a result, your career could diminish. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford is a very highly anticipated boxing match. It's a very highly anticipated fight, and it could go either way. I'm not gonna say how I feel. Matter of fact, all right, so this is my scenario for it, because once the fight is official, I will make an entire prediction video, make an entire one. And that is that Terrence Crawford by stoppage, but here's a catch though. When it comes to Terrence Crawford by stoppage, I believe he's going to win by stoppage, but be low on points. The reason why I say this is because of Spence's work rate and punch accuracy. I feel as though Errol Spence is going to be the ring general in that fight, and he is going to be the one initiating aggression. So even if Terrence Crawford may be piecing him up just for the taking in the later rounds, I feel as though Errol Spence is going to have the upper hand in the judges' scorecards earlier. Along with that too, Terrence Crawford has, compared to other elite welterweights, has not as much punch output, but also his punches landed aren't as high as others either. Even if he's a very accurate puncher, he just doesn't punch that much, which is where work rate comes in, because compared to Errol Spence's work rate, which is a very high work rate, that could jeopardize some of his chances in winning rounds. In a straight boxing match, I have Crawford, but even so, it's about what the judges see and what outwork can do to diminish someone's accurate punches, because I feel as though if someone lands enough punches throughout the body, Crawford's accurate punches, which may do something, may not get the round unless he really wobbles him or wobbles Errol Spence. And I don't think by the stoppage is going to be a wipeout on the scorecards. I think it's going to be like him, like Errol Spence up 1 or 2 rounds. That's it. Like 50, 56, 55, 55, 55, or something like that. Something like around like the middle to late rounds, 96, 94. 95, 95, 96, 94, like those types of scorecards. Nothing like 90, 98, 91. No, that would be very impressive if Errol Spence managed to outbox him that comprehensively. But I doubt it. I think Terrence Crawford is too skilled of a boxer. Just to compare both fighters, matter of fact, people are concerned about Errol Spence struggling with weight because he's running outside in a hoodie in 100-degree weather, while Terrence Crawford is steady in shape, always in shape. I've never seen Terrence Crawford out of shape in any pictures. He looks like he's always training, always doing kung fu, random stuff in the gym, always wrestling, always doing some crazy stuff with his colleagues, like a gym rat, like a straight gym rat. No wonder why he's in his mid-30s and is in not peak form. I don't think he's in peak form of his athleticism or speed, but he is in very good shape and is in very good form for his age as a boxer. So, are you guys concerned about Errol Spence's weight? Let me know in the comments. Like, are you guys concerned? Do you think that he's been eating a heap of a lot? Do you think that he's lied to his fans and that he's still struggling on weight? Or do you think that this is over dramatic and the fight isn't even official yet? Let me know in the comment section, or just something random too. But let me know in the comment section how you guys feel. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.